Welcome back to Qualified Engineering. We actually have a little bit of diesel stuff we're going to cover today. But this will be one of our first more serious videos, and from this point on we're going to kind of focus on specific projects. After this we're going to go back to the stock bottom end big block in the frame, and we're going to make some changes to that, which I'll go over in the next video, which will be probably next week. But I had a customer that wanted to delete his 2019 Ford F350 with a 6.7 in it, and he wanted to tune it and go through and dyno the whole thing. I don't work on diesels. I didn't do the work. I'm not going to work on your diesel. I don't like diesels. I don't like the smell of diesel. So if the EPA watches it, I didn't do it. He did it. I dynoed it. If you have a problem with it, you can call me. Dynoed at stock, it made 371 horsepower, 786 pound-feet of torque. If you look at the top right side of the graph, it says it's corrected. If you look at the horsepower and torque on both sides of the graph, it shows uncorrected because the correction factor is not written for diesels. So all these tests were done similar atmospheric conditions and uncorrected. So stock, like I said, you'll see the graph made 371 horsepower, 786 pound-feet of torque, and then he removed the DPF. First, he removed the DPF, and he had a 0 horsepower tune written by a company. I don't want to name the companies because I don't want them to be easy to pick out if anything happens. If you want to find the tunes, you can find them. I'm not going to name them. Don't ask me. I'm not going to tell you. So the first tune was just a 0 horsepower tune. The DPF was removed. It had a 5-inch exhaust from the downpipe back, and it actually lost power and torque everywhere. It's a fueling thing. Like I said, I don't work on diesels. I'm not going to get into it too much. It wouldn't build boost. Boost is built with heat and no exhaust restriction, no heat. I mean, it just didn't spool. It wouldn't spool. I couldn't load it with brakes in the dyno. You can't brake boost those trucks to go into reduced power mode. So it actually ended up only making 321 horsepower and 633 pound-feet of torque. Zach will post the graphs as I go through these. The way power fell off was very similar to the factory tune. So I would assume that the 0 horsepower tune from the company we got it from, they never actually dynoed a truck. They probably just shut off the emissions, shut off the check engine light for the things that were removed from the truck to get rid of the DPF. So the customer ended up buying 2 more tunes. He bought a 0 horsepower tune and a 100 horsepower tune. So after this, it was same thing. DPF removed, 5-inch exhaust from the downpipe back. The 0 horsepower tune from the new company he had do it, actually it lost a little bit of power down low. But it actually carried a substantial amount of power past 3,000 RPM. So I don't know what they changed or how they changed it. I didn't data log anything. Like I said, I don't work on diesels. I don't care. But it was actually impressive to see how much further it carried power out. It worked pretty well. So overall, he was happy with that company. The final pull was the 100 horsepower tune from the company that supplied the second 0 horsepower tune. And that actually worked really well. It ended up making 445 horsepower, 873 pound-feet of torque. It responded well. It built boost really well. I hit the button at the wrong time. I should have done a sweep through a specific RPM window, but I was being lazy. So I just hit the button. My controller's getting crappy from being dropped 1,000 times. So my graph, I just rescaled a little bit, but you can see the 100 horsepower tune. I hit the button late. But it built boost really well, it responded really well, and it carried power forever. I mean, it made over 400 horsepower, nearly the entire pull. So it worked really well. The customer's super happy with their tune. Their 0 horsepower tune is good, and his fuel mileage is up 4 miles a gallon, and it should last a while. We'll see, but watch the video and enjoy.